Some of our children are going to public school for the very first time.
I am not looking for a school.
They're announcing to the world that they're polygamous, and it's pretty scary.
Cat's out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag. All the adults are leaving for New York today. We're kind of saying, hello, America, here we are.
Begin this half hour with the polygamist family from Utah, now the target of a bigamy investigation.
Somebody was asking me if my dad was going to jail today.
Hey guys,
Everyone,
welcome back to Tradition with a Twist. I am Tracy,
I'm Nicole.
and we are going to rejoin the Browns. It is season 2 of my favorite show, Sister Wives.
Back on the Hot Mess Express.
Wow. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, comment as we go along. If you are returning, you know this is my favorite show. So let's take the trip with us.
Yes, just required, a little bit of openness and, realizing that you may stop at places that you wouldn't normally visit. So, we start the new season with the Browns coming out of hiding.
Right.
So, they're actually officially going to be doing interviews, things like that, letting everyone know through the news. Yeah, this is real. This is where we are.
We're going to New York City, basically going on the news to be public about our lifestyle.
We're going to be on the Today Show, and that will be interesting. I have no idea what to expect.
We're coming out. We're not coming out to our friends. We're coming out to the world.
Now also Cody is married to wife number 4, Robin. It is official. And he thinks one of the ways to actually have the family and the kids bond together better would actually be to put all of the kids in public school, because Robin's kids are already in public school. So, this will be a great bonding experience for them.
Beginning of September, and now the kids are all going to school.
The first time in public school for like half of them.
If I'm counting right, 7 of the kids haven't ever been to public school before.
There's different opinions from each wife on public school. So I guess we'll start with Mary and the fact that her daughter was like, no, I'm not going to public school. I've done it before. I don't like it. I'm going to stay at my church school.
All our kids seem to want to be in public school.
Except Mariah.
Yeah, except for Mariah.
She didn't want to go to public school this year. She tried a year in public school and just decided she didn't like it and preferred being in the private school.
She said, I'm taking first daughter privilege. First wife, mother privilege? No, get out of here. I ain't doing that. You want me to do this because of your new chick. I'm good. I'm going to stay where I'm going to get in where I fit in.
Yeah.
Everybody else could do whatever.
What are your thoughts on that? About the fact that she's like, no, public school it's going to be a no for me, dog.
I mean, I really like that. Considering who her mother is, considering her mother being married, I was loving that. I was like, listen, no, let her go where she feels most comfortable. Don't have her do what you have everybody else doing just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciated that, and I appreciated her own strength in saying and being able to speak up and say, you know what, that's not what I want to do, and so I'm not doing it. Okay. But again, considering who her mother is, and that being the only child, she's the only child for her mother. I didn't see it going any other way, and I was like, but what a slippery slope we are heading down.
Now, do you have any thoughts, though, on the fact that instead of going to public school, she would rather stay in the church school? Because this school is done through a coalition of the church. Right. It's technically not an accredited school or anything like that. So, and they talk about things within their church, such as polygamy. And do you think that would have any deeper influence or impact, the fact that she is preferring to stay shrouded in a small place instead of being out?
I do think that it will have an impact later on, but I also think that part of that might be, I don't know, like she's comfortable in the church school. I don't like the fact that it's not accredited. My child won't be going nowhere not accredited, nor would I be supporting them, but it is what it is.
Okay.
And again, she has a sense of community there. But in the grander scope of things, the children who go to public school have access to many, many more opportunities and things than she will. But again, she is old enough where I feel like she's making that choice.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
there's also a GED later in life. And it might be easy for her. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
Janelle was like, I really don't care either way. It's fine.
Right.
I'm actually kind of excited. I was a little hesitant at first because my little babies, I don't know how they'll be. But I mean, once I met the school principal and stuff, I'm like, yeah.
Now, Christine, she was a little nervous because she was like, she wasn't directly teased as a child, but some of her other siblings were. And so, now that, they're out and she's going to be around the other siblings, she's nervous about her kids being teased. Too.
I feel different about the kids, though. I've always put my kids in a private school. And part of it is because when I was going to school, I was okay, but my brothers and sisters were picked on and bullied. It wasn't known that I was a polygamist, but it was known that they were. And so I didn't want my kids in the public school system because of that. I'm nervous a little bit that they'll get teased, but what I'm nervous about more is that it'll stop them from making friends.
And I can get that. I can imagine that. But, I mean, at the same time, you have set it up. So, granted, you guys are going on national television. You made this decision to have cameras in your home. This always cracks me up when people tell me this. You made decisions to have cameras in your home. Hopefully you would have had a conversation with your kids prior.
Yeah.
Because again, and if they're going to public school, this is the same scrutiny they're going to face in general public.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
So tell them, teach them, help them, but you can't shield your kids from the entire world. You can't.
Yeah, that's true.
You thrust them out. You thrust them into the public. You can't shield them now.
Yeah, that's true.
So you teach them how to deal with it.
We're going to talk to the younger kids about going to public school and the fact that it's going to be obvious that their brothers and sisters are in their same class.
Just a lot to discuss.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's because I don't live in Utah and maybe just because I've been exposed to so many other things, but I feel like they're making it a bigger deal than it is. Like, do you know how many kids got siblings by a different mama in the same school?
That's like, they are making it a bigger
happens
deal.
all the time.
But like I told you when we were watching it, I said this sister wife thing is just the formalization of, how can I put this? Ain't-ish behavior. That's what I'll say. Because again, there are many children who grow up with, they find out, oh snap, you my brother? That's your daddy too? Oh, I didn't know. All the time. The only difference with the ain't-ish behavior and sister wives is, with ain't-ish behavior, the women usually don't know each other. And if they do know each other, they just ain't cohabitating and co-parenting.
Yeah.
But daddies still give everybody their day of the week, whether they know it or not. And
I mean, the whole song "Papa Was a Rolling Stone,"
So
kind of, but okay.
But again, it to some degree, it goes to show how sheltered these women are.
Yes.
And how traumatized they are from their own, polygamous experience growing up.
Yeah, and I think it also shows how much fear impacts decisions and how much fear can keep you in a bubble because they're so scared about going out and saying anything about what may possibly happen because the way they grew up, they were indoctrinated to believe that if you go and you tell anyone, your family's gonna get broken up, you're gonna go to jail, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. So all of these things are ingrained and indoctrinated into them, and that fear is so powerful for them.
Yet they decided to let cameras in their home.
Because they wanted to show a different side. Because they say they didn't want to live in the fear anymore.
I got it. But you two things can be true, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, two things can be true. Yes, you can want to live more freely, but you have to know that there is a cost. There's a potential cost to that. And again, it's okay to go, whew, I am scared of it. And I guess that's what they're doing. They're like, well, I'm just afraid. These are just the fears, the general fears that are coming, but we're going to, bite the bullet and do it anyway.
Yeah. I still feel that it was kind of fostered for the wrong reasons. Like, that Cody really wanted the driving force behind this to be Robin. Like, I feel like the motives weren't exactly right. Now I feel like the outcome, the fact that they do get to go to public school, they get exposure to other thought processes, other lifestyles, things like that is beneficial. But I don't agree with the motivator behind it of Robin.
We homeschooled our kids for a lot of years, and I think that experience actually melded the family. And then when Robin was coming in the family, I thought it would be a very good way to actually help the families merge by having them all go to public school together.
Because again, I definitely think this was all Robin motivated. Well, Robin's kids go to public school. They want to continue going to public school. So all the little kids should go to. So all the kids should go to public school.
Yeah. I mean,
I need. No, never mind. No.
So, they make the decision to have everybody go to public school. Yes. And then, now they're talking a little bit about how they will be going on interviews, stuff like that. But before they leave, they want to have a little bit of a family wholesome bonding time. Very wholesome. And they decide to go ice blocking.
Later on in the week, we're going to New York City to be on the Today Show. Earlier this week, we want to actually do something with the kids, so we're going ice blocking.
You get these big blocks of ice and you put a towel on top of them and take them to the top of the hill.
A steep hill.
And then sit on the block and slide in.
Well, that's because they have very high morals and very different ethics.
Per Robin.
And the whole ice blocking dates back to the 1800s when things were more pure, more, not as defiled. So it's a good, cheap, old-fashioned way to have fun.
Our lifestyle, we have a lot of very high morals and different and ethics and stuff, and so our kids find some very creative ways to have fun.
Dates itself back to the 1800s. Fundamentalist Mormons are a little bit traditional.
There are some of the more old-fashioned ways that people used to have fun that have been kept alive in our communities.
They don't harm you, they don't harm others, and it's
a
real
lot
fun.
of keep teenagers from getting in trouble with each other.
And it's a little bit silly, which makes it a little funner.
I'm the wrong damn person to be talking about things were better in the 1800s. I'm sorry, maybe for some of y'all.
Okay, the morals, they're
whatever.
saying.
Hell to the no. Hell to the no. What? Robin, all of
Morals
y'all
are more wholesome.
What they? Cause all of y'all women. Look, I love how y'all be picking and choosing. I love the pick and the choose. I do. I love the pick and the choose because the women of the 1800s, Robin, Janelle, Mary, all of y'all and your daughters. Y'all want to go back to them times? Great. Have you some fun time ice blocking. Say what it is. Y'all are poor. Ain't nothing wrong with being poor. You need some cheap fun. You taking these kids to go slide down a hill on a block of ice wrapped in a goddamn towel.
Yeah.
You know what we did? We opened a fire hydrant in New York. That's what that was the equivalent of that. Okay? But don't. I wish. Yeah. No.
Well, let's stay on the whole piece of their whole morals. Because, Cody, when he was also talking about the public school, he's like, well, it's okay now. I'm not too worried because actually, now they're taught morality. They're taught tolerance. They learn the value of things like civil rights and tolerance. And it's not just taught. It is a morality now. Like when he was growing up, things weren't that way, but now things are more tolerant, and they're taught that in school.
I think for the most part, kids nowadays are pretty open-minded.
Kids are being taught tolerance at school now. I remember growing up in school and being taught the value of civil rights and the value of tolerance. It's not just taught now, it's a morality.
And I'm grateful for that.
I am too.
What are your thoughts on the fact that he mentioned that one of the reasons he's okay with them going to public school is because of kids being taught tolerance in school now?
Why Cody act like his ass ain't go to public school? Cody didn't become a polygamist until he was 19.
Yeah,
my guy.
But that was okay. So when was he in school though?
Oh well, that's true. He was
late 70s, 80s,
okay,
early 80s.
So it wasn't.
That's during the civil rights movement. They didn't teach
but
things like that in school.
Listen, not in.
And especially he's in Wyoming. Are you kidding me?
They
didn't teach that.
I don't know. I still anything with Cody. I just like Cody. I wish you knew enough to say it better because I think I know what you're trying to say. How it's the deliverer of the message that is giving me a hard time. So, okay, great. Yeah, schools are more accepting. They teach acceptance more. There is more taught about tolerance. Great, yeah, but again, I don't think you're really fostering that at home. So, I mean, I'm gonna be honest because I don't think it's
so
one
you
of
think
your
he
kids.
says one thing and practices
that.
something different.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, speaking of his lack of oration skills, so now, after they have their wholesome fun ice blocking, they fly to New York. And I just think it's very interesting that, I guess, they're typical tourists, because Robin's like, oh man, it's so loud, it's overwhelming, the lights, but it's so great. And, several of them were like, yeah, the energy is so exciting. New York and Times Square at 1 a.m., like, it's so great. Like,
oh man, who doesn't love New York?
I love it. The energy of that place. I know. I love it.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I love
Times
it.
Square
It
at
was
1
great.
a.m.
Oh yeah.
What a fun experience. Yeah, I like New York, man. The people were cool. What an experience.
We wouldn't have that vibe, and many of you guys might. If you're not, both of us are from New York, so we don't have that same connection to it. In terms of excitement, we can see what other people might see, but we see beyond that.
Yeah.
But again, so they were all mesmerized by the lights and the sounds of the city, of the part of the city they were in. Let's say.
Because let's be real, I'm sure they didn't go around to lots of other places
they
in the city because it's
So they damn sure didn't go nowhere else.
I don't even know. They might not have even went to all of Times Square because there's some places down in Times Square that are a little questionable.
And if they had been acting as bread and butter as they were they were just targets. So they said they went to Central Park in the daytime. Clearly,
it was because and they were taking pictures in Central Park.
Because you guys they would have. Oh my gosh, just targets,
walking targets. Yes,
but Cody's inability to communicate effectively is made blatantly clear during their segment on the Today Show
with Meredith.
Meredith literally asked this man a simple question.
It was like, your dad wasn't a polygamist, growing up and stuff like that. So what made you decide to turn to what made you decide to become a polygamist?
You all.
Good morning.
I'm going to say at the onset that this is the kind of lifestyle that most people would not embrace and certainly don't understand. So let me start with you, Cody. You do not come from a plural family, as it is called. Your dad was not a polygamist. So what led you down this path? What made you choose polygamy?
It's just I know the answer. My brain and my mouth wouldn't connect.
My name is Cody.
Oh shoot, it was faith-based. It's just part of a faith belief, and I followed through with it, and this is kind of where it landed.
And my man said,
"Die."
For real. Like his brain malfunctioned.
He might as well have had a finger up his nose and been like,
seriously. and to tell you how much this man relies on his wives for basic functioning, his first thought was, Janelle knows the answer. Oh, Mary knows the answer. He can't say this, of course, because he look like a dang fool. But during the interview, during the back segment, he's like, those were the thoughts running through his mind. One of them, knew the answer before he did.
I just didn't know what to say. I was like, Janelle, you know the answer, don't you? Christine, will you tell me the answer? No.
You're just worthless, my man. Like, you're just worthless. You're just worthless.
Yeah. He chops it up to the fact that, he was really nervous, and because here he is, he's jumping out of a plane, he doesn't know if his parachute's going to open or not, and then he's put on the spot, and he's like, I just blinked, I was so nervous.
You were not put on the spot. You went there knowing good and dang well the spotlight would be placed on you. Yes, it is okay to go, ooh, wow, I was nervous. However, my man, that's a basic question. That is interview 101. You should have had that on repeat in your mind, or it should have been a pointer or something that you and the wives practiced. Something.
Yeah.
You're on national television, my man, for the first time representing your whole community.
So maybe the stage fright. What about people
it
not
could
get stage
be.
fright?
No, it absolutely could be stage fright. I just don't like them. So I have no grace.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I'm being honest. I just don't like him. And so all the logic, all the grace, and that's wrong on my part, guys. Don't be like me. That is wrong. Okay? I just really, this man watching him amazes me because I'm like,
we're trying to, let's be a little objective here.
It's hard to be because it would be different if he said, you know what? The pressure of it all, knowing that this community, I've literally taken this community and placed them on my back and want to present us in the best light possible. I brought my family here. I've exposed my wives who I love dearly. And the first thing when Meredith said, all of that flashed through my mind and I went for a total blank. I didn't feel that from Cody. I felt
he's trying to make a joke about it. He's not gonna. Why would he be serious about it?
Because he should be, though. That's my problem with Cody. He makes everything a joke. Everything is a joke.
That's part of the whole thing, is that they are trying to show that, in this lifestyle, you can be in this lifestyle, you can be a good person, you can laugh, you can have fun, you can have a good family.
And your wives show that, all except for Robin. Your wives, the majority of your kids actually show that. And I believe that more because of their mothers and not you, Cody.
Yeah.
So, again, I the deficiency in the family is Cody. I'm sorry, to me, and it is hard. It is very, very hard to take this man seriously. It is. It is, because his wives can be in pain, his wives can be confused, everything is a joke to him. Everything is a minimization. And everything.
I mean, but sometimes you have to make light of certain situations. Like if I went up on a stage and on a panel or something and we're asking questions and one gets thrown at me and I've never been in front of all these people before, I might be like,
Sometimes.
And then looking back, it'd be like, man, I just had a brain fart. I had this. I'm not. Well, no. What I did was I was thinking about XYZ, and now this is good. Like I'm gonna try and bring some levity to the situation. I'll be like, man,
you can.
I just had a brain fart.
He was like, again, but in other situations, people will see you to be knowledgeable. People will see you to be of a certain caliber and character. Cody is a dunce.
He doesn't think that's the way he comes across.
He needs some self-assessment. Because again, I think that's the difference.
Okay, well, speaking of, being assessed, after they finish all of their New York interviews, as they go home, they return home, they realize, hey, we're actually about to be subject to a lovely investigation.
This family from Utah we first met here on Today last week, now the target of a bigamy investigation. Police are not giving a timetable for their investigation of the Browns, but said that once it's complete, it will be up to the Utah Attorney General's office to decide if criminal charges will be filed. It turns out the Lehigh City Police Department launched an investigation into the polygamous marriage.
We intend to investigate it and see where that leads us. Once that's done, we'll forward that on to the county attorney's office.
Yes. And to possibly bringing up charges and being called under bigamy. So yeah, it's like breaking news. So now they're home. They have the police after them. They have the paparazzi after them. All of these things going on, and it's very very heavy.
We have press. They're filming the house, and have press filming the house and coming to the door. So they just filmed the front of the house. Yeah.
They're filming the house again.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, they're on our yard too.
I worry about the safety of our kids with them coming home from school. I didn't want them to film our kids. Oh my gosh.
It's
very heavy.
And in this position, I had empathy. I did have empathy. I had empathy for the family in and of itself as an entirety. Because the children are being subject to paparazzi outside the door. Yeah. People are watching them. Their privacy is being invaded. And yes, they did invite people into their space. But when people are coming into your property, when people are not respecting boundaries, that is where I had empathy for the family. Because they did this for good reason.
He did it for good reason.
He did it for good reason.
And
but
because he did do it for good reasons, now he's like, I gotta look up to the heavens and it gets you back in touch with your maker. You look up and you got my back,
Yeah.
What?
I mean, you question if I did the right thing, because I can say clearly Cody loves his family to the best of his ability to love. Because I think that's what made him think, like, I've opened this can of worms. Now all the worms are out. I have to deal with that. And it's not only impacting me, but the blowback is potentially on my wives and my family, because I don't know how this is going to happen. If this comes back negatively and I am taken away from the household, or even my wives have consequences, this is far and wide.
So even though he has a testimony, because he said he was led to do this by God.
Yeah. The consequences made him take a moment to go,
any disrespect for the law. You simply are in a lifestyle out of love and out of choosing to abide in your faith. And then you turn around and there's this investigation and it scares you, all right? But now you're faced with the reality of something much scarier. And it makes you search your soul. It makes you look up to the heavens and say, you got my back? Puts you in touch with your maker.
Okay. All right. And I think we can all relate to that, because there are moments 100%. When you feel very strong in your conviction about something, and then when times get tough, you're like, okay, I got to breathe through it. God, I know you're with, my only difference is for me, it'll be like, I know you're with me. I got to stay with you. And I'm pretty sure that was his own language as well. Like, all right, you got my back, because this is rougher than I thought.
Wow, didn't think I'd see the day. Some empathy for Cody and agreement, and when you're led by God,
listen, when you believe,
if things get rough, you get back in touch.
Again, what have I always said? I said, I don't like Cody. I said my main problem with Cody, it comes from the fact that, you can see the wives' love towards him. Yeah. But it is oftentimes even Cody's everything revolves around himself. Yeah. And so I think him to be very, very selfish, and I think that is a stark contradiction to the polygamous lifestyle, selfishness. But then again, it is very patriarchal. So in that sense, I probably would expect the man to be selfish and entitled, as I see Cody.
Well, I'm going to hold on to that. We had an agreement here. Agreement and alignment.
There we go.
At the end.
Hey.
So we will continue on this Hot Mess Express. We're staying on board. We're going to see where we end.
There we go. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Now, we are Tradition with a Twist.
Yes.
So it is twist time. Doing something a little different, guys. We got these little dice. All right, Nicole's gonna roll hers. I'm gonna roll mine, and it's gonna tell us what the twist is.
All right. Okay, so we have card, moon or guidance card,
and mine is card and wisdom.
Oh, you didn't bring wisdom cards, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, awesome sauce.
I should have pulled them out of the bag.
But that's all right. So we have moon or guidance. Moon or guidance. And it's funny though, because both of these have moons on them. All right. So it's going to be some guidance from the moon, regardless.
All right.
Okay. We're asking for some guidance for the collective, something that they need to hear, whoever comes across this video. Ooh. Okay. Well. All right. Okay. Would you like to go first?
I will go first. I'll go first. So my wisdom card of guidance, it says playful, guys. I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there is so much fun to be had? I like that. I like that one.
Yes. So our guidance card advises to embrace your power, to create change, to challenge norms, and to rewrite the narrative. Your dreams, your aspirations, they matter and they have the potential to transform the world. And on one side, we do have, coincidentally enough, a moon, heart, book. And on the other side with the words, we have the moon again. So we do have the moon all through here.
Yeah.
It's all about embracing what may come, embracing any challenges in your path, and realizing that you hold the power to control the narrative. It's all about you, your perspective. And why not, when faced with challenges, add a little levity?
Yeah. Be playful.
Be playful.
Doesn't
with
have
it.
to be so serious, right?
No.
Don't get so bogged down with the have tos or the I need to have tos. But you forget to take time to have fun. That is just as important, guys.
Yes.
So again, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment,
share.
There you go. That one. I'm Tracy.
I'm Nicole.
And we hope you have a wonderful week.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.